Call the meeting to order, March 27th, 2023. Any public comment? No. If all the members of the committee are here, in addition to Mayor Moran and Brian Ellsworth and Paulina Martinez. First item is the approval of the minutes of the February 27th, 2023 meeting. All right.
So moved.
Second? I'll second. Any comments, additions, corrections? All in favor of the approval of the minutes? Okay,
I have one correction on the minutes.
sorry.
I wanted to be noted that I asked that a point of service survey be done in regards to the 4-day work week.
So, and that was part of old business, our discussion of the 4-day work week, if I recall. And if that was something that was suggested, that would have been part of the discussion of old business. So we can, you're saying that we would add that Councillor Coleman asked for a discussion of, say what you wanted to say, what you said, I don't recall.
Yeah, I wanted to, I made the suggestion that we have a point of service survey as opposed to an online survey. I'm not sure if that suggestion was ever taken. Maybe Ryan can answer that question.
You asked me if any action has been taken. Sorry, did you?
Yeah, I was just curious if you have anything on the counters at the point of service asking, how people feel about.
Yeah, so I reported on it in my report. I think it was the third item, said that we were in the process of installing them.
Okay, thank you.
But the addition to the minutes would be that you had made that recommendation.
That's correct.
Any comments, concerns about adding that to the minutes? Okay, so with that addition or that amendment, all approving the minutes? Okay. The new business continuing discussion that we began last time, the 60 evaluation of the town manager, and you've seen in your packet the proposed statement of work from Work Choice Solutions, David O'Brien's firm. Lee, do you want to just give us anything on that beyond what we have in front of us?
Well, just to kind of add that the original proposal came in, and based on the discussion that we had with regard to getting input in terms of the questions with the personnel committee, that at the bottom of that proposal are the two items that were requested. One, to meet with the personnel committee on the 24th or by the 24th, I believe it is. And also to have the project completed by October. Those two things or two items weren't in the original proposal, but based on the interest of the personnel committee, those two items were added and are included in the updated version. And the other, I was just going to mention one other thing is at the prior meeting, Brian had requested that we provide kind of a background on Dave O'Brien. And so I did circulate that to all of the committee members to kind of provide that background for the group.
The process would, our proposed start date is July 1st, 2023, and the proposed completion date is October 1st, 2023, July, August, September, 3 months.
Yep, that's correct.
That includes meeting with us as the primary council body that's involved with this.
To vet the questions, right? Correct.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts, discussion of this? Right?
Was a formal RFP produced for this?
No, we actually did solicit or look at 3 different companies. And then, as you know, from the last meeting, 2 came forward and the committee chose to go with Dave O'Brien, I think primarily because of the work that he had done previously with the group, and the costs associated with it would be less than the $10,000, which is typically required of any kind of formal RFP.
I guess in a formal RFP, you might get a little more diversity, equity and inclusion, correct?
I don't know how to respond to that other than, I mean, we did get some diversity in the sense that we had a female proponent, we had a male proponent. Again, I think what tipped the scales, as far as I know, is both were qualified to do the project. I think, again, based on the work that Dave had done with the council before and with the prior evaluation, I think there was a comfort level with him. And plus, a lot less of a learning curve because he was familiar with the process and had questions vetted previously.
So
Other
to
than-
get this clear, there was not an RFP. We actually solicited the vendor, the 3 vendors. We reached out to them. They didn't reach out to us.
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct. Yep. I was asked to do a search, and so I vetted, initially online to take a look at different companies and groups that did the 360 evaluation. And 2 of these, including Dave, were local, very local. The other individual is from the Stores area. And then the third company is more of a national company. So it was quickly narrowed down to the 2 local companies. I did meet with both of them. And again, the recommendation of the committee was to go with Dave O'Brien, which I had no issue with. He, from an HR perspective, he's certainly qualified to do the evaluation.
Our task is to recommend to the council this or some other firm to complete this task, and we can have a motion to make a recommendation for O'Brien. Terry?
Move effective March 27, 2023, to recommend the town council authorize an agreement for service with Work Choice Solutions for the purpose of leading and facilitating the annual performance review of the town manager in a manner substantially conforming to the statement of work as outlined. The total professional fee for this service shall be $3,800.
I will second that motion. Is there discussion? Right?
I want to see a formal RFP.
Am I correct in understanding that any request for proposal from any request for funding of projects under $10,000 does not require a formal RFP
That's correct.
Correct.
Purchasing.
per our purchasing? I think I understand Brian's concern, and I would certainly suggest that if this had been a larger project, that it would make a great deal of sense to do that. But I think the process of doing a formal RFP would cost us more than the project itself, in terms of staff time and the whole works. So while I agree with Brian that kind of a search is more likely to turn up somebody who would fit in, who would be a diverse candidate. I think this is a relatively small project and we really just need to get on with it.
Any other discussion? Then I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion as proposed? All opposed? So it's adopted by a vote of 2 to 1, and it will go before the council. Now, should it go before the council this evening as part of the Personnel Committee report? Can you mention at that point? Or should-
Yes,
Okay,
let's get moving on
okay.
this.
Okay, so we can make copies.
So you'll make that motion during the meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Under old business, the firefighter contract.
Just point of order.
Yeah.
Will Ron have to add it to the agenda before the meeting? Tony,
Whether.
because it's not on the agenda.
Approval of a contract. Yes, it has to be
Yeah,
added
I
to
would
the
add it
agenda.
as a new business item.
Okay,
So the personnel committee ought to recommend it, ought to request it early, very early in the meeting.
all right, you signal me when I should do that, and then by a 2/3 vote, it can be added to the
Mhm.
agenda.
Yeah, 2/3,
Right.
yeah.
Don't count on me
Okay.
signaling you because I'll be focused on running the meeting and I'll
Okay.
forget.
Okay. All right, the firefighter EMT merchant and IAFF contract. Discussion of that.
I guess just, obviously the council, was it a meeting, last meeting, 2 meetings ago now,
Mhm.
whatever it was, you all authorized those documents to be executed. They've been executed now by all the parties. And so,
Been approved by the fire.
yeah, been approved.
Mhm.
And approved by their
Okay.
membership
And signed.
and signed, yeah.
Mhm. Any other questions? Okay. In our never-ending effort to have a personnel committee charge, there was a bit of a miscommunication, which may indeed have been my mistake. We had wanted to have 2 resolutions, not one. One, the charge to the committee, the other, the change in the name to the committee. What appears on the council agenda for this evening was a blend of the 2. We can change that.
And I do have, I guess, you probably wouldn't have seen, you're probably traveling over here by then, but I emailed out to the full council a replacement agenda item summary with the corrected motions.
Mm,
And I have a hard copy, so
Okay.
it basically largely mirrors these 2 motions. The
Mhm.
verbiage is almost
No.
identical, so
There is a typo, you
I
realize.
know we corrected that typo.
Okay,
on the original.
serve as a resource, not service as a resource.
Oh, yeah, yeah. that was-
Okay. Okay, are there any other items to be brought before us? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
I just have one question before we adjourn.
Yeah.
When will we actually review the council rules and procedures?
Usually done in November after the election, the new council does it.
Okay. Is that not the personnel committee's charge now or not?
Well, the council refers the rules and procedure to the personnel committee for its review in November.
Okay, thank you.
Personnel committee would make any recommendations that will go before the full council.
Okay.
Okay, with that, all in favor of the motion to adjourn? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thank you, everybody.